What is up, guys? Today we're working on the clapped out Dyna because it won't stay running. All right, let's bring you up to speed. We were supposed to take this to a camp out. If you didn't watch that video, I'll try and link it down in the description. But 10 miles into the ride, it just died on me. It started up just fine at the house. It died on me. Acted like it didn't have a battery. It didn't want to crank. It was really weird. We waited about 15 minutes. I worked on it, pulling the fuse out, messing with the relays, and we got it to start up. We were pretty close to my parents' house, so I just rode over there and dropped it off. Well, my parents' house is probably 10 miles from my house. So when we got back, it did the same thing to me 3 times on that ride back. So I'm going to try and show you what it does. It gets real hot, like completely heated up, and then it'll die on me. I'm going to try and get that on camera for you, and we'll see what happens. Also, I want to check the voltage of the bike when it just starts running and when it gets hot, when I think it's about to cut off. And then we're going to try to figure this out. I did replace the system relay and the starter relay right here just because they were really cheap. And it does seem like there's an electrical issue. I didn't think it was the battery at first because, like I said, when we started off, the bike started up. There's no issue. We took off, whatever. But it does seem like the battery might be a bit of an issue. I don't know if it's the complete issue. We do have another battery. I don't really have time to mess with that today, but we're going to try and at least get what's happening on film. Also, if you like these gloves or our bar bag, hit us up, wretchedclothing.com. So let me get this thing started. I'm going to have to jump it off now. Let me get it started, get set up to check the voltage on things, and we'll get back with you guys. Okay, so I got my little head gear set up here. So hopefully you can see everything. But we have our jump box hooked up. This is still turned off, and it's showing 12.2 volts. So we'll see what happens once we turn the power on. Everything is up and it's already dropped into 11.8, which we got a little bit of a pull. Again, this is off. Let's see if it starts up. I'm gonna get on the other side because if it starts up, this is probably gonna fall. I'm gonna have to pull it off real quick. Yep, and see, so that is why I'm positive now we have a dead battery, at least a dead cell in the battery. I'm not 100% sure if that's our only problem, but we can't really go on without it. But again, when I first started having these problems, the bike would start up fine. So, not sure. I didn't think it was a battery at first, but let's cut this jump box on. Now it should fire. All right, now it won't even start. That's odd. All right, we were able to get a better connection and we got the bike started. I think we just had a poor connection with the jump box, but it would not start at all until we got a better connection. Now that it's running, check our voltage. Our voltage is like 14.4. So we're gonna wait until she gets a little warmer and we'll check it again. All right, she's getting warmer, but not warmed up completely. Let's just see if the number's any different. All right, 14.4, so still the same. We'll wait a little bit longer and check it out. All right, I've checked it a few times. The volts haven't really changed much. We'll check it again. Yeah, basically 14.4. is within 1/10 of a volt of what we've been checking. I'm gonna throw the seat on her and ride it and see if I can't get it to duplicate what's going on. I'm just gonna go up and down my path here. That way I can keep the head thing on and maybe I can see what it's doing. All right, it's been idling for a little bit. It's definitely warm. So we're gonna take it for a little ride up and down the path and see if we can't get it to choke off like it's done in the past. We'll see what happens. There it is. All right, just like I thought, that's it. I'll take you through the procedure of what I normally do. We'll cut this thing off. I don't know if you noticed, but the gauges were going all crazy. It's almost like it's losing something. Actually, before we do anything, we'll pop this off and we'll check our static voltage for the battery. Luckily, our voltmeter fit perfectly in this bar bag. Wretchedclothing.com. But all right, let's see what we get now. And we'll try to turn her over and see what happens. In the past, it doesn't do anything. All right, let's see what we got. 10.6 volts. That ain't enough to do it. But let's see what happens. Cut everything on, see what we have now. 8 volts. So yeah, we got nothing. So this thing is definitely not gonna work. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear it. It's not even engaging the starter at all now. See if it makes a clicking noise. Nope, nothing. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave her off. Sorry about that, I forgot the camera's up there. I just adjusted my glasses and pushed the camera. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this off, let it set for a few minutes. I am gonna go grab the jump box just in case, and we'll see what happens. I'll be right back. The downside of this is now I have to walk back up there. And of course, it couldn't choke off on the ride back. Is what it is. But I gotta ride back up there. I'll bring the jump box back and we'll see if we can't like duplicate everything that we had going on. All right, we're back. It may have been around 5 minutes. Funny, let's check the voltage of this battery. The bike is off. Let's see what we get. 12.6. Okay. Let's just turn the key on, fuel pump. See what we get. 12.4. All right. Let's make sure we're in neutral. All right. I'm going to try to wedge this in there and try to crank her over and see what happens to our voltage. Nothing. So that is indicative of a bad battery right there. I'm going to wait a little bit longer with all the power out. We're going to even pull the main fuse. I'm going to wait a little bit longer because in the past, like I said, that trip I took coming home, I was able to get the bike running again. It started up just fine. That's why this entire time I haven't thought it was the battery. But I ordered one just in case. I know this battery is about 3 years old. I got the bike from a buddy of mine. I know when you put the battery in there. I think it's been around 3 years now. And we'll see what happens. I know it probably wasn't the best battery. It was probably a cheaper battery. I have a lithium battery to put in there. We'll probably do that tomorrow. I'm just trying to document all this stuff in case anyone else has issues like this, and just show you what I'm dealing with trying to get this clapper back going. But don't worry, if you're watching this video, we have come to a resolution here. One way or the other, we have figured this out. Even if I had to take it to a shop, we have figured this out and we've got it fixed. Just as of me recording it today, I don't know. But we're gonna wait a little bit longer, see if this bike will fire up without the jump box, under its own power. Let's just see what it does. All right, it's been roughly almost 15 minutes, and that's about the amount of time I was able to get it running again on that return trip back. So let's try and start it one more time under its own power. So this time we're actually able to check our voltage. We're at 12.4. Let's see what we get during cranking. See, it starts up. That's what's so crazy. As it cools off or gives it some time, the bike starts running again. So we're gonna try to get it back to the house real quick before it cuts off again. Oh, I don't know if I was recording that whole time. We rode the bike back up, and I don't know what I was recording, wasn't recording, but we were able to make it back up. I don't know, it's very strange. I don't know what you got to see because the camera was on my head, but yeah, after you give it a few minutes, I think it was like 10-15 minutes, the bike would start up under its own power. I don't know if the battery's getting hot and it's got a dead cell, what's going on. That's why I ordered a battery. Doesn't seem super like a battery to me. It kind of comes and goes. It definitely feels electrical. I don't know if there's a sensor. I know a lot of people have said the crank sensor, sometimes that gets hot and it won't start, but if the crank sensor was bad, I feel like I would get a crank but no start. I'm getting a no crank, so I don't know. But dinner's ready. It's later in the evening. We're going to put this bike to bed, and tomorrow we'll put the battery in it, and we're just gonna sling some parts at it and see how that goes. If this doesn't fix it, I'm probably just gonna take it to a buddy's shop. I'm not upset about putting a brand new battery in there because this one's already getting like 3.5 years. And I know it was a cheaper battery, so comment down below at this point, what do you think it is? But we're gonna figure it out. All right, it's the next day. We're gonna get this battery switched out and see what happens. So we've already got pretty much everything about to come out. We took out this little bolt here, loosened this bolt up, drop everything down, and the battery basically slides out. Let's get the new one in and wish us luck. Hopefully this will be our problem. All right, I think we got it installed here. We're using a lithium Noco battery off Amazon. We'll see if this works. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to mount these side batteries in. We've got a couple extensions because the battery's a little smaller, and we got some felt for the front to make sure it sticks off the side of the bike. We're gonna try to put this together and see if we have the right combination to get this to fit. All right, bike is back together, pushed it out. Let's see if this thing starts up. It sounds like it's gonna be just fine. Check for neutral and see if it fires right up like it used to. All right, that sounded perfect. After finagling with some spacers, we got that lithium battery in there just fine. So we're gonna let her get warmed up, and we'll see if it does the same thing it did before. All right, she should be decently warm. We're gonna go just down the path and back a few times and see what she does. See if that fixed the issue. I mean, if it's just a battery, that's awesome. I've never seen a battery do that, but it's not like I'm a real mechanic, so what the hell do I know? made it this far. She might be okay. Gotta tighten up my shifter peg there. Alright. Well, the next goal is to actually take her for a ride, but she's still running. I haven't had that much success in a while, so I guess we should take her for a ride this afternoon. We're gonna go to my wife's aunt's house for like a little pool party for her birthday, so we'll take the Dyna and see if she makes it. But so far, that might be the fix. All right, we're packed up. We're gonna head to her aunt's house for a pool party and see if this thing works. If it makes it there, we're gonna call it good. All right, our old girl made it. Ran really good, no problems. I guess the battery was the issue, but we still gotta make it home, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, we made it home last night with no events, so everything worked out good. So I'm a little surprised the battery was the problem at first, because when we very first had this problem, the bike would start fine, and then it died on me. And then it would only start back once it cooled off. I just assumed, you know, that's not a battery issue, and if you give it a little bit of time and it starts back up, then it's probably not a charging issue, which we don't have a charging issue. So I thought it was a sensor or something like that. That's why we went for the relays. I've never had a battery do something like this. Now, of course, once it started to get really bad and we're able to got it back home and able to put a voltmeter on it and check the voltage drop as we're starting it, and see the voltage be really high and then drop super low as soon as we hit that starter button. Yeah, it starts to make sense. But yeah, this is a bit of a weird one. I mean, I'm not a real mechanic, so yeah, you know, I just play one on TV. Well, the GoPro died on me, battery died on me, so that was probably the universe telling me to shut up and wrap this up. Comment down below if you thought that was what the problem was going to be this whole time, or what did you think the problem might have been. Comment if you've had this issue before. Hopefully some people have this issue, they see this video, maybe it'll help fix it for them. But if you made it this far, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, but as always, keep it wretched.